It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Kitchenland USA, and Smouse Foundation Repair and Waterproofing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey there, Sarah Foreheads here, flying solo today. Ethan's still down in Texas, and Diana's probably sleeping in. That's what I hope for her, at least. So thank you so much for being with us this morning. We will get to the news. Pulaski County authorities are asking for your help in identifying a man. They believe it was a man, and they found remains, human remains, in a wooded area in Pulaski County near St. Robert. A forensic investigator was able to sketch with those remains what he thinks the person may have looked like. And they posted it to the Pulaski County Coroner's Office page on Facebook. So you can look at the sketch and see if you might recognize who that man was. They believe it was a white man in his anywhere from 55 to 80 years old. So kind of a large age range. But you can see their sketch. Perhaps you can make it out. And they believe that the remains have been there for about 2 years. So if you have any information, you can contact law enforcement with that. Well, school starts back all around the Ozarks in about 5 weeks. Hard to believe that it's that soon. Right now, school districts all across the Ozarks are looking to hire bus drivers. As you know, bus drivers are often hard to come by in some of the school districts, including Springfield. So whether you're in Springfield, Branson, anywhere in between, they could use your help. If you are interested, you can go to the Missouri's Department of Elementary and Secondary Education website, the DESE website, and check out the requirements that you would need for that and to find some open positions. Well, drivers, meanwhile, beware of a big project coming to Sunshine Street near Scenic. MoDOT crews are going to be taking down the bridge. It's kind of right there by the FedMed, the Federal Medical Center. They are taking it down, rebuilding it from scratch between Scenic and Kansas Expressway. So that means that section of Sunshine is going to be closed down for 4 months. Yeah, that starts on Monday, August 4th. So here in a couple of weeks, you'll notice that stretch will be closed down. It is a busy one, so you will have to find an alternate route. The price of stamps is going up again. Starting this weekend, stamps will jump from 73 cents up to 78 cents. The USPS says as changes in the mailing and shipping marketplace continue, price adjustments are necessary for them to achieve financial stability. And of course, they went on to say they're still the most affordable way to send something. Tonight, you can give your input on putting in what's called middle housing in neighborhoods. So all around Springfield neighborhoods, specifically in the center of Springfield, developers are talking about adding in middle housing. What that is any house that gets you kind of from a starter home or a single family house from an apartment. So if you're in an apartment and you're not quite ready to buy a house, maybe you go and stay in a duplex or a condo or a townhouse. That is what's considered middle housing. So the city is asking for people's input, residents' input on the matter. That meeting is tonight at 6 o'clock at the Hillcrest Presbyterian Church on East Norton Road. This is interesting. Big changes from the IRS. The Internal Revenue Service says that pastors and churches, congregations, may now freely discuss politics from the pulpit and endorse political candidates without losing their tax-exempt status. Now, as you well know, for the last 70 years, that has been illegal, forbidden by law for any 501c3 nonprofit, which includes churches. They have not been able to talk openly or endorse openly candidates from the pulpit. But the agency, the IRS, has issued an exemption specifically for churches or other houses of worship. The agency made that statement in a court case that was happening in Texas as part of a settlement with 2 churches and with the national religious broadcasters who sued the IRS for violating their freedom of speech. That is very interesting because for 70 years, it hasn't been a thing. And now houses of worship will be able to endorse a candidate. I don't even know how I feel about it. So very interesting, big changes from the IRS. And that's about it. That's your news for today. So thanks so much for joining me this morning. You should see Ethan back tomorrow. He's still down working with Convoy of Hope in Texas. As you know, they have been cleaning up after the deadly flash flooding that hit there over the 4th of July weekend, along with some Missouri teams who are doing search and rescue operations. Tragic situation there in Texas ongoing. And I know at least as of last night when I was talking to Ethan, they were getting more and more and more rain, and they don't need it. So speaking of church and houses of worship, if you are a prayer, you need to pray that they can find those who are still missing, and also that the rain would cease. All right. Hope you have a great Thursday. Thanks again for joining us, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, and Taylor Grubosh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday. We have temperatures starting out in the low 70s today, a south breeze, and mostly clear skies. I do have thunderstorms in the forecast, a chance of them again across the Ozarks today. So I know I sound like a bit of a broken record, but it's more of the same with some slight changes in the forecast today. One of those being that the afternoon storms could be a bit on the strong side in a few places. I don't think widespread severe weather is going to be an issue for us, but there could certainly be a couple of storms that have some heavy downpours and some gusty winds. Also today, we're talking about the temperatures turning up a few more degrees. So low 90s expected in the forecast today, which makes it just a bit warmer than it was yesterday at this time. Isolated storm chances remain a possibility today, and I think the best opportunity for seeing the rain today will be east of I-49. Many of us in the Ozarks will stay dry, hot, and humid. Oh, the humidity has just been awful. You step out the doors, if you're wearing glasses, they fog up with dew point temperatures so high. It's also one of the reasons that many of our downpours could contain some locally heavy rainfall. Got a lot of moisture in the air to tap into, and we could see that result later today. There's still this surface boundary kind of draped across the Ozarks. It's an area where showers and thunderstorms get going. Best chance today, I think, is going to be the early afternoon hours for some of the stronger pop-up showers and storms, with the heavy downpours and the gusty winds that look likely. Some of those winds could contain gusts 60 miles an hour or more, and temperatures, they're gradually going to increase through the weekend. So highs back into the low 90s. We'll be in the mid 90s for forecasted high temperatures by the weekend forecast. It will be very warm across the region. And we also have heat index that are going to be on the rise too, meaning that our mid 90s feel more like 100 to 105. So we may see some heat headlines issued by the National Weather Service for our region as we head into the weekend forecast. That's kind of to be determined as we see how high the temperatures are going to get for the weekend forecast. It's a summertime pattern, though, definitely, and numbers are going to continue to rise. We'll be low to mid 90s both Saturday and Sunday. I do expect that heat index values both of those days will be well into the triple digits. So this is just kind of an early heads up that for your weekend, you definitely want to factor in some time to cool down. If you have anything going on outdoors, there will be opportunity for very warm temperatures and dangerous heat for the Ozarks. Around the country, we're talking about dangerous rainfall, heavy downpours, flash flooding happening and expected with this tropical disturbance that's moving along the north central Gulf Coast. That's happening today, as well as we saw some flooding around there yesterday. We also continue to see heat building across much of the eastern United States. That's going to strengthen, and we are getting a taste of that here in the Midwest as well. So still lots happening around the country. The Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question from the day has to do with a bit of history. Which major international sporting event held every 4 years took place in July 2012 in London? And the options that I gave you were A, the FIFA World Cup, B, the Summer Olympics, C, the Wimbledon Championships, or D, the Tour de France. What do you think it was? FIFA World Cup, Summer Olympics, Wimbledon, or Tour de France? Well, it was B, the Summer Olympics. So congrats if B was your choice. It was also a very good, successful games for the United States. Team USA topped the medal count that summer of 2012. The most gold medals, 46, and the most total medals as well at 104. The men's U.S. basketball team that year included players like LeBron James and Kevin Durant. They also won gold and defeated Spain in that final. These games were praised for their organization and enthusiasm of the volunteers and the public. So they were good ones. Nice to remember. Congrats if B was your choice. Here's the trivia question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. Which significant weather-related event known for its devastating impact on the U.S. Midwest occurred in July of 1993? What do you think that was? Do you think it's A, the Great Flood of 1993, B, the Dust Bowl, C, Hurricane Katrina, or D, the Joplin tornado? Which of those occurred in July of 1993 and will be remembered for its devastating impact on the Midwest? Let me know your guess. You can do that at aroundtheozarks.com. Want to thank our sponsors today, Taylor Grubosh, Chevrolet, Heating and Air Paramedics, and Command Family Medicine. I appreciate you starting your day with me here. Find a way to beat the heat today. Grab the umbrella just in case. I've got isolated showers and thunderstorms. Best chance after lunch and before 4 o'clock this afternoon. I'll be watching the radar. We'll be back to check in with you first thing tomorrow morning.